So when it comes to editing software, there's a lot of softwares that I can recommend, and there's a lot of softwares out there, but these three are my personal favorites. These three are the ones that I currently use. So Final Cut Pro is what I use mostly for like editing wedding trailers and wedding highlights. So Final Cut Pro, I really recommend you start learning Final Cut Pro. I have a few courses on Final Cut Pro, not a few courses. I have a few videos on it, and I will probably link the videos down there. I'll attach the videos to this topic, but I have a lot of videos on Final Cut Pro, so make sure you learn that. Premiere Pro, I use it mainly for the full-length wedding videos. So I have tutorials on that as well, on how I use it for that. And when it comes to the editing part of this section, you're going to see how I use it to edit the full wedding videos. So these are the editing softwares that I recommend, I personally use, and I personally recommend. So Final Cut Pro, Premiere Pro, and DaVinci Resolve. Now, DaVinci is a little bit more advanced. So it might take a little bit of a while for you to like kind of get used to it and the interface and stuff like that. But Premiere Pro's interface and Final Cut Pro's interface, I love the interfaces because they just simplify everything, but DaVinci Resolve looks a little bit intimidating when you're first, getting into it. But, everything you have to learn, and it's not rocket science. You can learn this software. So same thing like Photoshop looks intimidating to people who are just starting, but after a while they're like, oh, okay, blah, blah, blah. So, if you're really looking into like getting deep into coloring and stuff like that, then DaVinci Resolve, because it's used in a lot of movies as well. But I'll stick to Final Cut Pro and Premiere Pro. I've used these softwares for the longest now, and they keep improving every time they release a new version. It's always improved, and new coloring techniques and all this and that. So Final Cut Pro, Premiere Pro, I really recommend those. And DaVinci Resolve is more for if you want to go a little bit advanced, but it's there. It's an option. It's there. And if you already use DaVinci Resolve, then good. So that's the editing software that you will need to edit cinematic weddings. So let's move on to this right here.